Hey guys, it is J Star Wars 360 here with my thoughts going into Captain America Winter Soldier. This is the latest Marvel superhero movie. It is coming out this Friday, and I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts on it before I saw it, like I always do. So, Captain America the Winter Soldier. Again, another Marvel movie. This is the sequel to Captain America the First Avenger, well, which came out in 2011. Actually, is it a sequel to Avengers or Captain America the First Avenger? Or actually it's kind of a sequel to both if you think about it, but I digress. Let's move forward. So before I get into how I feel Captain America Winter Soldier is going to turn out, I might as well just tell you guys what I thought of the first one. Now, I might be a little biased on First Avengers since this was back, I don't know. I feel like I've become a bit more critical of the Marvel movies, especially with Confused Matthew just ranting about them. But I think my bias towards this movie might also have to do with the fact that 2011 is one of my least favorite years for movies. A lot of movies I saw in theaters I did not like. I saw Cars 2, Pirates of the Caribbean 4. I didn't see it in theaters, but I did see it eventually. Hangover 2 came out. I mean, there were some really good movies that came out that year too, like Rango, Kung Fu Panda, Art for Christmas. All of which are animated films for some reason. But, again, most of the films I saw in theaters I did not like. I mean, there were some okay ones I saw, like Super 8 I thought was alright. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 I thought was good. Not as good as some people like to say it is, but I liked it. But I was just hoping for one movie I could say that was a pretty good movie. And for Captain America the First Avenger was that movie. I really liked it. I had a lot of fun watching it, and it got me pumped for Avengers. And I'll have my written review of it in the description below if you want more in-depth in terms of what I thought of the film. Although, give me some patience because I need to remember if I wrote it or if I just still have it in outline form. Regardless, I will get it up at some point, so if it's not there, just be patient. I do have a life. But it will be up there eventually. So, let's get into what I think of Captain America the Winter Soldier. Out of all of the Marvel movies in this second phase of films, which is going to end with the next Avengers film, Captain America is the one I'm looking forward to the most. When I wrote my Avengers review, which I might put up on now, I might just put it up when I do my thoughts going into Avengers Age of Ultron in about a year. I want to think about stuff that's happening here from a bit. I digress. But I said to myself, Captain America is the one I think lends itself the best to a sequel. I mean, all the others I was like, I mean, before Avengers came out, I thought Avengers was going to be it. It was going to be Avengers and it was done with this, but nope, Avengers is just the beginning, which I kind of groaned about, but I've slowly started to accept and kind of enjoy that fact that they're just getting started. But of all the superheroes, I think Captain America was the one that I feel like lent himself best to a sequel. Like there was more to do with this character because unlike all the other Avengers, Captain America, who can just go back to their normal lives, Captain America, he can't go back to his normal life. He's in a different time period. So I think there's a really interesting dilemma. In addition to him fighting the Winter Soldier and stuff, I think it would be really interesting to explore him adjusting to the modern world, finding his place in it, except dealing with things changing. There's a scene they shot for Avengers, which you can find on YouTube. I'll have a link to it in the description if I can find it. But it's him dealing with civilian life, and it's a really nice scene. Apparently they're going to put it in Captain America the Winter Soldier. So you'll get to see it. Although don't watch it if you don't want the Stan Lee cameo room, because Stan Lee does appear in that. Also, this film doesn't have to deal with the trend of rehashing the previous films because it's a new setting. It's modern. There's a different conflict. It's a political thriller. It's going to have a very different feel than the previous film, and it will be really refreshing. I mean, I really enjoyed the World War II feel of the first film, and I'm really curious to see what this modern political thriller action film brings to the table. Also, this film, in terms of new, we have some new characters. We have the Winter Soldier, who again is a cool villain, looks cool from the trailers. I won't spoil who he is for those of you who haven't read the comics or don't follow. I mean, they've been Marvel hasn't been hiding it, but I still think some people do want to be surprised by who he is. So I won't spoil. Other than that, it'll be interesting to see how Captain America deals with the Winter Soldier, especially when he learns his identity. And at Comic-Con, the people making the movie did say, we are aware that there's a lot of people who know that such and such is the Winter Soldier. So we're going to focus more on how Captain America deals with that knowledge of who the Winter Soldier is than the mystery of who the Winter Soldier is. And if that's the case, I really hope they get the reveal done relatively about halfway, three-fourths away from the movie, and they don't save it for the end, because I want a lot of time for Captain America to deal with the identity of the Winter Soldier. And I really hope they don't play it up. I mean, you can play it up if it's a mystery if you want, but don't drag it out, especially if you want to focus on his reaction, especially if there's a lot of people who know if you're making such a big deal about who it is going in. Also, there's a cool new character called Falcon. I'm interested to see what's his deal. And we also have some other characters returning who are I feel like they're gonna get more screen time than they did in their previous movies. The first one is Black Widow, who is a member of the Avengers who have always been like, we never really got to know Black Widow. I mean, that was my criticism of Avengers, is that they just threw Black Widow and Hawkeye at us and expect us to care for them, even though they hadn't had a movie or anything setting them up. I mean, Black Widow had Iron Man 2, but I didn't care for in that movie. And are you telling me that the whole point of Iron Man 2 was just to tease Avengers and introduce Black Widow? Lame. Confused Matthew does the Iron Man 2 sucks justice. Watch his review if you want. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see her kicking butt in the film, playing a more active role, and hopefully we'll get to know her a bit more, so when Avengers 2 comes around, we'll be rooting for her. Although she's pregnant right now, and she's about to start shooting in a few days, so it'll be interesting to see how they handle her scenes. Also, Nick Fury is going to be doing stuff in this movie. And it'll be cool to see him doing stuff other than showing up at the end credits scene. Also, presentation I think is going to be good. I mean, a lot of the action I've seen in this film looks pretty good. I saw the first trailer a couple times. I saw the second trailer once, the one they should air put online during the Super Bowl and aired a snippet of during it. I don't know, I'm afraid that one's going to give away too much if I watch it extensively. But yeah, action looks fun. Also, they're using practical effects, which I'm always for practical effects over CGI. I think CGI, it's clearly fake, and I don't know. Practical effects, there's a lot of time. It feels you have to put more effort, and I feel like I always appreciate when someone goes out of their way to use real effects. And sorry, I'm blanking out. I just completely lost my train of thought. Point is, I like practical effects. Like in Iron Man 3, the scene where everyone's falling out of the plane, Iron Man sees them. They actually those people were actually falling out of planes. I mean, they were stuntmen, but the point is, they actually went out of their way to have people falling out of a plane, and they filmed it that way. As opposed to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where they were clearly, when they did the similar scene, and they were clearly in front of a blue screen, and it looks so fake. But yeah, that nice bit of realism will deal with it. I do have a couple concerns with the films. One is I'm worried that the first and second trailers gave away a little too much, and that I've already seen most of the movie, and that there isn't going to be that much left to surprise me. But it could just be, or another concern I have is that I won't like the film and that'll be filler, just like Iron Man 2 or Thor, which I thought was alright. And that I'm just worried that it's going to be overhyped. Like John Campea of AMC Movie Talk, he is just like, go see this movie. It's like the best movie to come out this year since Lego Movie. Obviously, he hasn't seen the Grand Budapest Hotel, or maybe he has, but he wasn't big on it. But go see Grand Budapest Hotel. It's amazing. But I digress. So, also, before I forget, I'm curious to see how this ties into Avengers Age of Ultron. I'm hoping in the end credit scene, which is directed by Joss Whedon, that we're going to get to see some teaser of Ultron or something related to the creation of Ultron, because for The Dark World, I'm not going to give away the end credit scene in case there's people who haven't seen it, but it was directed by the guys directing Guardians of the Galaxies, and as such, it kind of was segueing into Guardians of the Galaxy and sort of tying the Thor world to Guardians. So it's probably end credit scene of this will probably do something similar to this. All I can say is make me pumped for Avengers, make me excited for whatever is coming in Avengers 2, and make me pissed off that I have to wait for it. Odds are we're not going to get it. It's not going to be a trailer for Avengers like with Captain America, because they are still in the process of shooting Avengers, and there's still a lot of effects they need to add, and I don't think they'll have that much to show. Maybe when Guardians rolls around, they'll have something to put together, but as of right now, they're really in the middle of shooting. So, will I go see this film? Yes, I will, but here's the thing, unfortunately, I have a life, things are really busy, so I might not get a chance to see it the first or second week it'll come out, but trust me when I say I will make an effort to see this. I will see it within the month it comes out. Like, again, I do have a life, but, so just be patient. If it comes out and I'm not reviewing it, please be understanding. I am just as annoyed that my review of it won't be up as you will be. So, again, just try to be patient and understanding. But yeah, trust me when I say I am really looking forward to seeing this movie. And I do really want to see it. And I will really try to see it this time, unlike Catching Fire, which I wanted to see, but unfortunately ran out of time. So, financially, I think this film is going to do pretty well. I mean, the first film did all right. It made about $400 million. This film, I think it's going to do a bit better. I mean, there's a bunch of people who already are in love with these movies. I think Avengers has created even more interest in the sense that there's people who saw Avengers but didn't really see the other movies. Also, if this film is getting a really good word of mouth, I think that'll help too. And so domestically, I think it'll make about $200 million. I mean, it's a bit more than the first one made, which, again, Thor had a similar thing where it made a bit more money than the first one. I think this film will have a bit of a similar one. Also, this film, keep in mind, this film's coming out in April, and there aren't that many big movies coming out in April, so it's kind of, they're smart in that they're releasing it this time so everyone who's excited and cares about these movies can see it without worrying about being conflicted by other movies, which summer movies are going to have to deal with other big movies. But, again, that's a video for another time. Internationally, I think that's where the bulk of Captain America's money is going to come from, similar to the other superhero films, which, if you go on Box Office Mojo, they make a ton of money internationally, and I have no doubt that's where a lot of Captain America Winter Soldier's money, and part of what's going to make it such a big financial success. Probably it's going to be the highest grossing movie of the year thus far, until we hit summer season and then the big movies come out. And is there a lag on the video? Because there is on mine. But yeah, so definitely will make a lot of money. I mean, it's already made $75 million overseas, which is really good for a movie. I mean, some movies would be lucky to make that movie in their runtime, and it's already made it in a weekend. So, it's going to keep going. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So, Captain America the Winter Soldier, are you looking forward to it? Are you a fan of the Marvel movies? Please comment and let me know. And as always, like this video if you like it, dislike if you dislike it, and subscribe if you want to see more. This is JStars360, signing out.